Sahoo, and I am currently in my sophomore year in NIT Rourkela. Okay, and I am doing my BTech from Food Process Engineering. Okay, and along with it, I have done a few more things in my life which I could do because I have controlled procrastination. Okay. The thing when I said that I have controlled procrastination, it means that I still procrastinate. And to give you an example, what I have done, it's a recent example. It is an example of today only. So have a look at it. So this was the page. Okay, can everyone see the page? Is the OneNote visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So see what was happening today only. Since last week, Dipti Di of our club is asking me to complete the presentation on procrastination, but still today till 6:30 I wasn't able to complete, and this was what I was doing. And this photo was just clicked by my father just recently. Okay, and I was playing PUBG, and when I after then I looked at him, and uske baad jo hua, guys, you know what happens when you get caught while studying. Okay, so this is what happened. So let's not go to that, and let me just bring you back to one more thing. uh, okay, can you see this PPT? But I managed to do the PPT in time, and this is what the PPT is I have made. Okay, so let me tell you what happened actually. I am going to say you something about procrastination. Okay, it is not a new term. This term has been there since past long, since the I say when humans being have got their consciousness and all, we have started being the civilization. I think this term is there, but this term is new to us because we haven't heard this term yet. So let me just define you what procrastination is. So procrastination, it means putting up the thing or postponing a thing till tomorrow. Okay, in my background you can see there is a quote which says now or never. Okay, so I will explain you soon how this quote changed my life, and because of this quote what I was able to do and what I hadn't achieved since last 15 years. Okay, so first of all, let me give you a disclaimer that today I'm here to talk about procrastination, not the science of it. Okay, I'm not going to explain what are the hormonal changes or what are the chemical changes that is happening in your brain that is leading to this, but I've come with a cure which is easy enough if you think, if you develop a mindset, if you try to adopt it, then this cure will help you to get rid of this procrastination by a much greater leap than you are in the current situation. Okay, but if you are if you want to go deep into it, so here is Professor Timothy. Okay, so he has been doing research on procrastination, I guess, since last 20 years. Okay, so he is in the Department of Psychology at Clayton University. You can visit his website to know more about the science behind it and what are the things happening inside. But for today only, I am restricting myself to tell you what is happening due to procrastination and how to cure it. Okay, so let's see this slide. So this slide example is just you have two baskets and I have assigned you some work and you have just taken everything and put in a basket of tomorrow. So what basically is tomorrow? So tomorrow is a mystical land where 98% of all human productivity, motivation and achievement is stored. And guess what, guys? Tomorrow never comes, isn't it? So that is the thing. Okay, so whenever you try to do something or you want to achieve something great in your life, you make a plan, you think that you will start working on it, but what happens due to some circumstances, and that circumstances is procrastination, and due to those circumstances you put those things till tomorrow. Okay, And procrastination is the art of keeping up with yesterday. This was told by Don Marcus. Okay. Then we have another quote by Edward. He says that procrastination is a thief of time. And one by Mark Twain, he says that never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow just as well. Okay. And in Hindi, we have an muhavre, isn't it? Kal kare so aaj kare so ab. Okay. So all these quotes, all these things, why they are present? They are present because to let you know that the things what you want to do today is very, very important. Okay. It puts a great impact in your life if you take up a task, you plan it and you complete it within time and you don't put it forward. Because what happens when you start developing this habit of putting things till tomorrow, you get a bad habit and that task will eventually get completed, of course. Now, for example, I can give you an example. For example, you have an assignment. Maybe it is given in your college in this online classes, and you have to complete it by tomorrow noon, for example, and you don't complete it in the night or in the day, and you wait and you play BGMI, or you watch the current episode, current series of Money Heist, which is going on in Netflix, and you will just start working it on the 11th hour and you will try to complete it. And there is a difference between someone who is lazy and someone who is procrastinating. There are two different things. Okay. So the person who is lazy, he or she may not able to complete the task in time and will be a defaulter. But the person who procrastinates will never be late. Yes, guys, that is right. The person who procrastinates will never be late. He or she will complete the task in time, but at a cost. And what is that cost? Let me show you. Okay. So this is the cost. For example, this is a graph. This graph is not made by me. This is made by the Professor Timothy only. Okay. So what he explains is, he explains that if we take time is in x-axis and pain of human in y-axis, the pain can be of mental stress. It can be a physical pain. Okay. If you take that in y-axis, so this is the graph. Okay. So in this graph, you see as you proceed with time, your pain increases. And at the point of your action time, means that is the time when you just start doing the work and you just complete it. Okay. So that time your pain level is too high. You may not feel that pain because you have a task to complete. Okay. Your brain has put your pain system into pause. Okay. Your brain is telling your body, don't worry, forget about the pain, you just have to complete the work in time. And that is what your brain is directing you. Okay. But what will happen eventually, on the long run, this pain will be there in your body and it will cause many detrimental effect on your body, which is harmful, as well as in long term you may not be that level that you have thought you would be. Okay. And you can see after you complete the task, your pain level decreases. Okay. So this is one graph to explain you what you face during procrastination. And this is another graph which is showing you the stress versus time graph for procrastination. Okay. You see what is happening. The time you are given the task. Okay. So this is the time when you are given the task. For example, you are given your assignment. Okay. To complete. This is the time. Your stress level is very low. Okay. But what happens? The stress level is not that low. You get a sudden peak in stress level. You think, oh, I have an assignment to complete, and that too in a week. How would I do it? But suddenly that stress level decreases in a fraction of time. Because why it decreases? Because you see that the date of completion of the assignment is after a week. So your brain thinks, oh, there is 1 week left. Okay, let me put that into rest and focus on more important work. Okay, but you don't focus either of it. You don't focus on the assignment as well as you don't focus on the task which is at your hand right now. And that continues. And the point comes, the point of deadline. So this is the point where you are facing the deadline. Okay, in this position what happens, your stress level increases rapidly. Okay, but the beauty of the our body, or you can say it is not a beauty, or it is a beauty, it is upon you to decide. Okay, so I'll give that question to you. You tell me that at this point your body doesn't feel stress at all. Okay, means eventually you will feel stress just before the point or after the point, but at that point your body will keep that stress level into pause because you have a more important task to do and you do it suddenly. Okay, and after then, you know, the graph will decrease exponentially and your stress level will decrease. Okay, so these are the two graph I thought it is important to show you that what happens physically and mentally to your body. Your pain is a physical reaction and your stress is your mental reaction. Okay, then let me show you something else. Okay, who procrastinates? Everyone procrastinates, but not everyone is a procrastinator. As I said to you that I procrastinate, but I am not a procrastinator, but I was a procrastinator. I will tell you how. Okay, so why do people procrastinate? Okay, so there are certain things I have collected from the internet, done or based on my research, and I found these are some of the reasons that causes procrastination. First is your perfectionism. What is that? For example, uh, you are going to bake a cake. Okay, and in that cake you have done the icing, everything is done, and you have done the packing. But what will happen suddenly in your brain, on the last moment you will again open the pack. If you want to deliver the cake to someone, you will open the pack and you will see, oh, did I miss something? Should I add one extra cherry onto the cake, or is it fine? So this thing is called procrastination. Okay, you tend to think much more, but you don't think that you have 7 more orders to complete. Okay, you keep focusing on that one cake only. Okay, although that cake is perfect enough for the people who is receiving it. Okay, the second is feeling inadequate. Okay, sometimes you feel that, oh, this is not enough, I need something more to do it. For example, you need to complete a painting, you have 7 colors with you, but you feel that no, 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 this shade is not that great, I think I require another shade to complete this rainbow. Let me bring that, then I will complete. So this kind of excuses is what comes under feeling inadequate. Okay, so here are some more. Okay, undeveloped study skills, aversion to discomfort, resentment, overextended lifestyle issues, fear of success and failure. I would like to give an explanation on this point. Okay, so what is this fear of success or failure? Sometimes what happens, now you know that you can complete a task in time, you can complete your assignment, or you can complete uh, the thesis that you have been struggling over since last month. But what happens now, if you complete that task, you feel that someone may judge you. Okay, and now you feel that what will that person think of me, have I done the right thing, or do I need to do something more. Acha, or what will happen, you will have a fear of success, that what will happen if everyone likes it and they will call me to stage to tell me about it, and they will give me an award which I'm not ready yet. Okay, so this kind of fear is also a part which comes under procrastination. Okay, now the fourth thing that I will like to tell you here is overwhelming negative emotional state. You most of the time, I have seen my friends as well as my juniors as well as my seniors, what happens, they tend to be in a state which gives them negative vibes. Okay, it is not the negative vibes they have been provided by the society or by their peer group, they create this negative state by themselves. Okay, and they feel that let me be in this state, this is the thing that I have been made for, I am not made for great things. And only when I see Sandeep Maheshwari videos, I get boosted up, and after that the fire goes up. Okay, so this thing happens. Okay, but this also comes under procrastination. Okay, now let us go ahead and see something more. Okay, so here are two different clocks. Okay, so this clock is actually a very good example to define you what is the difference between someone who is lazy and what is the difference between someone who is procrastinating. Okay, so the person who is lazy, okay, you can see here. Can I? Okay, can't. Wait, please give me a second. Okay, okay. Yes. Okay, so in this you can see that this person, this clock refers to someone who is lazy. Okay, who is lazy, and this is the person of, this is called the procrastinator's clock. Okay, so the person, you can see what is the beauty of this clock is this one is a bigger, this font size is bigger than this 12. Okay, and it makes all the difference. The distance between the time and everything is same, but this makes a difference. Okay, and whatever who is that person, it doesn't matter. You give him a task, if he wants to do it he will do it, or if he doesn't want to do it he won't do it. Okay, so you don't be this kind of person, and you try to avoid being the person the left clock is showing to you. Okay, so you have to choose a middle path. Okay, so you have to complete a task, you have to plan for it, and you have to achieve it. Okay, I'll tell you in the next slides how to do it. Okay, don't worry. And if you have any doubt, you feel to ask me something, you can ask in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Now this is a very good slide. I feel you should know. See what is this slide. You can see that here is a boy. Okay, so he has been assigned with a lot many things. His fees is telling feed me. His pet is telling me that please make me go out of the house and let me just go breathe some air outside. But the boy has got so many tasks in front of him. He has to do it. Okay, but what is happening that he is not able to do all this task in time, and suddenly he listens to someone who is giving a podcast on procrastination. Okay, and after listening to that person he gets charged up, he gets that instant fire. Okay, inside of him, and that fire is called your short term mood repair. Okay, or this is called giving into feel good. Okay, you have been in a bad state and you give say to your person, okay, now I will start the daily planner, and eventually you start making the daily planner, you plan everything for the week, and after that what happens, you start wasting your time again. And this time what is your excuse? You say that the task I have made today is not in my planner. Okay, and that is how you procrastinate. Okay, so the procrastinating podcast or whatever I am telling you today, it will not be useful to you unless you do certain things that I'm going to tell you now. Okay. Okay, before telling me what are the types or the flavors of procrastination, I will like to tell you what is the science behind procrastination in a quick short bite. Okay, so what happens is, you see, your procrastination boils down to a battle between your limbic system and your prefrontal cortex. So what happens, when you are younger, your father or your grandparents used to say that in your body there are two things. One is your man and a second is your vivek. Okay, you give these two terms, you say that your man is telling to go around, play, do stuffs, but your vivek inside you, it is telling that no, don't go there, you have a task to do, complete that first, and if you have time, go next. So this scientifically is a battle between your limbic system and your prefrontal cortex. So what happens now? Your prefrontal cortex is less developed. Okay, and this is the good thing is you can develop this through meditation and through continuous effort in yourself while trying avoiding procrastinating. But your limbic system by default is much stronger. Okay, so what happens now, oftentimes the limbic system wins, which leads to our procrastination. Okay, so this is the science. If anyone asks you, you can say him. But I guess knowing the signs only is not enough for you. You can say anyone that what is happening to your procrastination, but if you cannot yourself avoid it or you cannot control it, there is no use of knowing the signs behind it. Okay. Okay. So what are the types of procrastination? So here is a slide. You can see yourself that what are the types. Okay. So there is a cleaner, there is a panicker, there is a list maker, there is a napper, and there is a side tracker, and there is a social share. Okay. So sometimes nowadays in LinkedIn, when you open LinkedIn, you may feel that, oh, I haven't achieved anything in my life. What I am doing? And you start doing your task. And while doing a task, you give your LinkedIn family a goal that from today onwards till 300 days, I will start working on this project and I will give you daily information what I am doing. And you start sharing your post of your daily work. Okay. But that is a kind of procrastination. Okay. So showing someone your task and so that you will feel good. Okay. I agree. If that is working for you in and you are able to come out of your procrastination by doing this, it's okay, fine. But in long run, this will not help you, because in long run you have to keep everything to yourself only. You cannot share everything that you are doing on your social media, right? You cannot for example, you are going to hack into Apple in a week. You cannot share every details on social media that this is what I've done, that is what I've done the next day. And obviously the police will be waiting outside your door. Okay. The what are the next? The internet researchers. Okay. The snackers, the gamers, I guess we all are, because of this pandemic. The watcher, the delegators, the perpetrators. Okay. So you can read it out yourself. Okay. And you can see. After then we have the task. Okay. What is the task? Lack of meaning means lack of enjoyment, fun, pleasure, passion, and self identity. And lack of structure leads to lack of autonomy, control, initiation, uncertainty. Wait, please give me a second. Okay, okay. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so that is a task of assertiveness. Okay, so okay, let us go ahead. So what personally I have gained by reading some of the books and doing some research on procrastination, which I'm doing since last 1 week, I'll share it you in few minutes. Okay. So the first thing that leads to procrastination is your lack of willpower. Okay. I know this is cliche. This sounds like what the you may say that what he is telling. Sandeep Maheshwari has been telling me this since last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Okay, but still, this is a point I will try. I would like to repeat you again because this is very important, and that is why I have put that slide into the first position. Your willpower is like a muscle. The more we exercise, the more stronger it gets. Okay. And well, scrolling up Instagram, I found a post. It said that your first podcast or your first YouTube video or your first test or your first painting may not look nice, but I guarantee the 100th one will look like the better than the first one. Okay. So the more effort you put on your task, which you've been doing regularly on a daily basis, keeping the consistency, you will get a result out of it. And this is not a lie, this is the truth. Okay. If you do it, you will get it. And people have achieved it. It is not that you will be the first one to try it, you may fail. Okay. The second one is irrational beliefs. Okay. That sometimes you may think that I'm not smart enough to do this, that, oh, he has been doing this and I cannot do this because I don't have those things with me. I cannot achieve this. I don't have that potential. So this kind of irrational beliefs into yourself will lead to your degradation only. You have to stop thinking You have to change your beliefs. You have, instead of that, you can start saying that, oh, I may not be smart today, but if I work on it, I will get that smartness. Okay, your studying won't help today. It might not help today, but eventually, if I put my continuous effort, if I practice more, if I solve more questions, then I may able to ace that examination. Okay. Then the effects of procrastination. Okay, so what happens when you keep this procrastination to yourself on a long run? Okay, so it will affect four things. First is your performance, second is your emotional and mental well-being, third is your physical health, and fourth is your relationships. Okay, so I'll give you certain examples. First is your performance, how it will affect your performance. Okay, you, for example, you must have everyone learned about efficiency. What efficiency is, that is your actual work done by the work done you have been taking the time to do. That is your actual efficiency, right? Means you can do a task in 2 days but you take 20 days. Okay, then your efficiency of your work is just 10%. Okay, so your performance will degrade. Second is your emotional and mental well-being. Emotionally and mentally you will always remain backward because your task is stopping you to grow in that field. Third is your physical health. Okay, so the more you procrastinate, how does you procrastinate? Procrastination means you will always try to move your body and your mind into your comfort zone. What is your comfort zone? For example, your comfort zone is may not be comfort zone for himself. For example, I'm sitting on this chair. Okay, this might not be the comfort zone for the person who is running a marathon. For him, this is a necessity. A chair is a necessity for him to sit, otherwise he will faint. But a person who is working every time on a computer chair, for him the comfort zone is this chair. He has to get up and run a few miles, then only he will get a better physical health and a better mental health also. And third thing is your relationship. Whether you are in relationship with your parents or otherwise you have in a relationship with your partner, whoever it may be, your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Okay, so that will affect you. Now how? Because you see, for I'll give an example, that you told someone to you will go on a date with her. Okay, and you gave time that I will reach by 4 p.m. Okay, and you think that, oh, this place is near to me, if I start at 3:50 I can reach to that place. But eventually when you start at 3:50 you found out there is a traffic and you become late. Okay, or sometimes an accident happen. You don't keep a time in between for yourself to avoid all these issues. Okay, and that will affect your relationship also. I don't have to tell how it will affect, I guess you all know. Okay, okay, now this is a good point. I felt that, so if procrastination occurs because the way we think, to beat it we need to think about how we think. Okay, so see, the way we think. Okay, the way we think, we have to change it. Okay, so this is called, the term for this is called metacognition, and this was given by a famous lawyer. Okay, it is a task for you. You find it out about this. You do some research by yourself and you will know a lot more about it. Okay, because the fact is, telling you about procrastination in a slide of 40 or 30 slides, it's not that effective, isn't it? Okay, now let us come to the solution part. I have been talking enough about the problems. I have been talking enough about what will happen and how not to do it. Today, okay, now I'll talk about how not to do it. Okay, so there are 3 steps to avoid procrastination. Okay, what are the 3 things? First is, do it now. Don't postpone it to later. Okay, and that's what my background is also saying. It is saying now or never. Okay, first thing is plan and set goals. You need to plan your goals. You need to plan your time, your resources, your progress, also your distractions and your failures. So these last 2 things people usually forget. Okay, they feel that they should not write about their failures, or they should not write about the time they are spending watching Netflix. Okay, but you need to write those down. Okay, And that is how you, okay. And second is your action plan. What is the action plan? And your attention to action, what is it? Now you have to make a mind map in yourself that if I do this work, why will I do this work? After doing this work, what will happen? You need to keep that thing in mind. And if you keep that thing, it will constantly remind you to do the task, and it will tell you that do, oh no, don't sit now, or don't have the Money Heist season 5 right now. It can wait for next week. The Netflix subscription won't go. If the Netflix subscription goes, who cares? You have Telegram and other. It is not necessary that you need to watch the episode right now, okay? To Because what happens when there is a peer pressure, that someone is posting a Netflix screenshot on your WhatsApp stories, and you feel like, oh, he has watched, I need to watch it right now, otherwise you will get a FOMO. So don't worry, you'll never miss anything. You have your own time, you have your own race, you need to run on that. You need not see others race and compete yourself with others. And competing, I'll tell a second point, that yes, you should compete. Competing with others is a good thing as well as a bad thing. It depends upon your intentions, okay? I'll talk more about that. Second thing is creating obstacles. Now you may think what he's talking about, creating obstacles. We should always choose a path which is free of obstacles. That is actually wrong. Okay. So the thing is, if you find a path with no obstacles, okay, it will probably doesn't lead to anywhere. Okay. For example, you are starting to do a thing where you find no problem. It is just like you think, no, now you are present in your college or in your professional life, and you have been asked to solve a class 8th maths book. That maths, you know about it, and to try to solve that, okay? While solving that, you find no obstacles. So will you learn anything about it? Of course not. You won't learn about it. You have gone past that life. You have to leave that aside. You have to create new obstacles so that every time it will remind you to, you have to cross these obstacles, because your mind is made like that. Okay. The more obstacles it sees, the more the what is the more interesting, or your more your thinking ability, it increases, okay? And you can find the solution to that more easily, okay? Okay. And yes, about multitasking, I want to say a thing, that people generally get confused when they hear the term multitasking, okay? So multitasking is not doing multiple things at a time, okay? So people generally think that if I can chat on WhatsApp in one hand and complete my assignment in other hand while watching Netflix with my eyes, that is multitasking. No, that is not multitasking. If you do that, I guarantee you today here that you will end or ruin your life. Okay. You need not do multitasking. You need to do multiple tasks in multiple times. Okay. Remember these things, multiple tasks in multiple times. That means you need to plan out yourself that I have an assignment. I have to do a research paper. I have to watch this show. I have to go out with friends. You keep all the tasks in different position of your time, and you give 100% of yourself in each task. Don't do 10 things. Okay, don't do 100 things at 10%. Rather try to do 10 things at 100%. Okay, that is what I meant if I'll put that in one line. Okay, so the weapons of mass destructions, actually this is also, you say this is also debatable, because I use Facebook ads, I use YouTube ads for my revenue income, okay? But that may not be true for you, okay? You may be using YouTube to consume your time. You may be Facebook to see that your neighborhood's daughter got 10 CGPA, and you are doing something else in your life. It may give you some sad vibes. So it absolutely depends upon you how you use these platforms, okay? Minutes turning into hours, okay? So now this is what happens, okay? So again what happens, now the boy again start listening to the second episode of podcast by Mr. XYZ, And what happened? He had his assignments, but at that time he was watching his television. Now he came to know that finally there is no more excuse and he has to start working. There is no shortcut or there is no smart work left, because all the smart work he has wasted back in time. He now has to do everything by his own and start doing. So he burns the midnight oil and completes the task. In that way, I have explained you early that what the mental stress and the physical pain puts on your body. Okay. And the third thing is the accountability chart. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of this if you want, if you actually want to put procrastination away from your life. Okay, you can write down your task, you can write down the time assigned for it, you can also put that task into hourly manner. That means you can write by yourself that from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock I am going to watch television or I am going to play BGMI. Okay, you need to put that in writing. Okay, don't put that in mind. The more you write, the more you start using your pen, your paper and your hand, the more you become productive. Okay, so the more you will know where your time is going, where your 24 hours is going, isn't it? Okay, record your procrastination, your time wasters. You can list out your things in which you are wasting your time and how much time you are wasting on that. Okay. The third thing is just get started. So there is no shortcut, there is no smart work, there is no hard work. These are all fancy terms. Okay. The most simple thing is stop everything you're doing right now and start working. So how do you eat an elephant? It's actually a comically, it's not in real. So eat one bite at a time. Okay. I'm sorry, vegetarians. Okay, but this is not what I meant. Okay, so just get started. Okay, divide your task into bit-sized chunks. Okay, you don't eat a full golgappa. Means, sorry, you eat a full golgappa. So that's a bad example I put in front of you. You can put a cookie. Okay, this cookie is a good example. You need to break that cookie into chunks and you eat that one by one. Okay, not the whole at a time. You do the intro, you do the research, you do the discussion, then you do the conclusion. Okay, you divide your task into time, into different time segment and try to complete that in that time, or even you can take plus or minus 10 minutes or plus or minus 1 hour depending upon the task you have choose. Okay, and this is the last time what is happening after I told the stress and stress level graph has now just increased. Okay, it is now the boy who is listening to the third episode of that Mr. XYZ who is speaking on procrastination. Now he's thinking that that episode is now no use. Okay, now he himself is realizing that it is too hard to start. Okay, so it has a lot many things, but what is happening is um, his father is coming into rescue and he is telling that yes, you need to start your task one by one. Okay, and eventually, although he starts, but it is not there in time this slide, but eventually he starts and later on by doing the task he is getting out of the cycle of procrastination. Okay, so procrastination technique, choose a task to work on, set a timer for 25 minutes, work on the task until the timer goes off. Okay, sometimes what happens, now I have seen some of my friends that you have a maths paper and you are a genius in maths and you complete the paper in 30 minutes and you walk out of the hall. Don't do that. It is a bad habit. You may feel that you are a genius in front of your friends or your professor who is standing in front of you may think that, oh, he did it. But in long run, if you continue this technique, it will be bad to yourself. Okay, it will bring bad to you. Instead, you assign the time for you. You complete the in that assigned time. And if you cannot complete in that time, increase the time the next time, but you do it within time frame and don't get up from your chair till that timer is off. Okay, and after that take 5 minutes break and restart it. Okay, And if you continue this process for 21 days, it is again a cliche, but personally it has not worked upon me. I don't know, I may not have done that correctly, but the 21 days concept has not worked upon me. But it took, I think, 2 months. Instead of 21 days, I did that technique for 2 months, and trust me, it worked. Okay. So the 21 days is not like that. If I do a task for 21 days, it will become a habit. It may not be for you. It's okay. It's fine. But don't give up after 21 days. Continue the task till you get that. Because remember, when you the first day you started, your intention was that you will complete the task and you will achieve a better version of yourself. Okay. And so thank you, Mr. Timothy, whose works I have taken. Actually, I should give credit to him because it is some of his research work that I have taken and I have presented in front of you. And so this is a conclusion, and these are the resources I have used. And so, yeah, thank you to everyone who was listening to me. And yeah, it was a great interacting with you all.